Fire Force Season 3 Part 2, Episode 1 begins with Shinra Kusakabe slowly waking up. A television nearby is broadcasting breaking news about the emergence of the fifth pillar. Shinra is confused and weak. When he tries to move, he realizes his wrists and ankles are restrained. Footsteps approach, and a door slides open. Shinra prepares to fight, but freezes when he sees Captain Obi, Arthur, and the rest of Company 8. Although relieved, Shinra quickly realizes something is wrong. He has no memory of what happened before he lost consciousness. Arthur explains the situation. 3 months have passed. The Shinra who just woke up is the real Shinra. The Shinra who was with Company 8 during those 3 months was not. Captain Obi confirms this, saying that Shinra's personality changed drastically and became violent and unstable, which is why they restrained him. Shinra looks at himself in a mirror and panics. His hair is dyed blonde, his ears are pierced. None of this exists in his memory. Obi tries to calm him down, but Shinra realizes someone else lived as him while he was gone. Shinra washes his hair and the dye fades, but his memories do not return. Vulcan admits he dyed Shinra's hair, then points out something worse. Shinra has flame-shaped tattoos covering his body. Shinra breaks down and prays in fear, begging forgiveness for sins he does not remember committing. Vulcan explains that Arthur was the first to realize something was wrong with Shinra. Shinra thanks Arthur, calling him a good friend. Victor Licht suddenly arrives and demands Shinra explain everything he remembers. Shinra says he remembers nothing after experiencing an Adolla link. He recalls seeing another world that felt like a dream, but more real than reality. Victor then reveals the most shocking truth. During those 3 months, Shinra attacked Sister Iris. Shinra is completely stunned and unable to accept it. Later, Shinra speaks privately with Arthur. Shinra explains that during his absence, he saw visions of the world before the Great Cataclysm. He says the people looked human, but felt different. This causes Shinra to question whether the Cataclysm 250 years ago was truly an accident. Arthur reveals his belief. During those 3 months, Shinra acted exactly like the rumors from his childhood. The devil, the monster people feared. Arthur believes that being was not Shinra, but an Adolla doppelganger that replaced him. Shinra later meets Sister Iris. She smiles and tells him she is glad he is back. Shinra bows deeply and apologizes for attacking her, even though he does not remember doing it. Iris forgives him immediately. Iris explains that since the pillars began appearing, the world is changing. Infernal outbreaks are increasing, and fire users are growing stronger. Then, she reveals the truth. She raises her hand and creates a small flame. Sister Iris is a third-generation pyrokinetic. Her powers were always there, but too weak to notice before. Iris explains that she went to Shinra for help when she doubted her own existence, but the Shinra she met was not the real one. That was when she was attacked. Victor and Princess Hibana later discuss the situation. As the pillars awaken, Adolla and the real world are merging. If all pillars appear, a second great cataclysm will occur. Captain Obi speaks with Shinra and reassures him. Company 8 never abandoned him. They still accept him as their comrade. Shinra thanks him emotionally. The episode then cuts to Benimaru, drunk and silently staring at the moon. Finally, Joker witnesses a terrifying vision. A massive pillar rises into the sky. A demon sits atop it, smiling. Fire Force Season 3 Part 2 Episode 2 begins in Asakusa, with Benimaru and Konro doing their usual training. Benimaru keeps making excuses, avoiding serious practice, while Konro watches closely. Konro warns him that his fighting style is extremely dangerous, like a double-edged sword. He tells Benimaru that his power is enormous, but without proper control, it could destroy him. Konro says that Benimaru has incredible potential and should finally start listening to their boss and properly learn Nitaran. At that moment, both of them suddenly bow their heads. Hibachi Shinmon appears behind them and immediately begins scolding them, reminding them who is in charge. The scene abruptly shifts to the present-day city, now completely engulfed in flames. Infernal beings are roaming everywhere, causing chaos. Kareem and other fire soldiers are fighting desperately, but they notice something disturbing. Unlike before, these infernals are talking. Because of the Great Cataclysm, infernals have gained the ability to speak. Suddenly, a massive earthquake shakes the city. Gigantic pillars rise into the sky. At Company 8's base, the captains analyze the situation and confirm that 2 pillars have appeared at the same time. The military is already attacking the 6th pillar, but when the 7th pillar emerges, they will need additional support. Shinra suggests that Company 8 should help with the 7th pillar, since it is far away. However, Victor points out the problem. Company 8 has been labeled as traitors, so officially they cannot assist. At the same time, the news broadcast reports shocking information. Along with the 6th pillar, a massive joint infernal has appeared, something never seen before. Near the pillar, a human-sized infernal is also flying in the air. The moment Benimaru sees this broadcast, he freezes. He realizes that the flying infernal is the same person he has been seeing in his dreams. Without hesitation, Benimaru decides to head for the 7th pillar alone. When others question him, he firmly states that this is his battle and no one else will interfere. Elsewhere, Konro and Ogu observe the situation from afar. Company 2 has failed to control the infernals, forcing Company 7 to step in. A massive robotic-type infernal approaches them, escalating the crisis even further. At Asakusa's 7th pillar, the truth is revealed. The infernal floating above the pillar is Hibachi Shinmon, Benimaru's former boss. Benimaru approaches and the two meet above the Sumida River. Benimaru calmly says he never thought they would meet again. Without hesitation, Hibachi attacks and Benimaru blocks the strike. Soon after, Konro, Hibana, and Kareem arrive and realize the horrifying truth. This infernal is Hibachi's doppelganger. During the battle, Hibachi mocks Benimaru, saying he is not changed at all and still has not mastered Nitaran. He declares that he returned from hell for one reason only, to teach Benimaru what Nitaran truly is. This triggers a series of flashbacks. We see how Hibachi trained Benimaru in the past, and how Konro once believed Benimaru would surpass everyone. However, Konro also warned him that his life would be filled with hardship, and he must face it head-on. Another flashback shows Hibachi scolding Konro for influencing Benimaru too much. Hibachi explains a harsh truth. Fire soldiers who kill infernals bear the full responsibility of those deaths themselves. No god shares that burden. We then witness a tragic incident. A child's mother turns into an infernal. The child begs Hibachi to stop, but Hibachi has no choice and kills her. Benimaru holds the crying child as tears fall from his own eyes. Later, under the rain, Hibachi tells Benimaru that they have already killed 9,568 infernals, and the number will only continue to grow. He explains that accepting responsibility for those deaths is what makes a true leader of Asakusa. Hibachi orders Benimaru to leave and not return until he learns Nitaran. Benimaru stands alone on a rooftop, questioning gods, authority, and fate itself. At that moment, Hibachi realizes that Asakusa is now Benimaru's city too, and that Benimaru has finally gained courage. Suddenly, the same child appears and stabs Hibachi from behind. As Hibachi dies, he accepts it calmly, stating that the leader of Asakusa must be capable of carrying hatred, guilt, and burden. The story returns to the present battle. Benimaru taunts Hibachi, and both unleash identical techniques. Their clash is so powerful that even the sea begins to vibrate. Hibana explains that this battle is pulling the pure world closer. Konro admits that Hibachi was harsh, but Benimaru has protected Asakusa ever since. Benimaru declares that he will show his true Nitaran with the support of Asakusa's people. He unleashes a sun and moon fusion technique. Hibachi is shocked. Benimaru has truly mastered Nitaren. With one final overwhelming attack, Benimaru completely destroys Hibachi. Hibachi is satisfied. Benimaru thanks him, then lands beside Konro. He quietly asks Konro how his Nitaren was. Konro breaks down in tears, and soon the entire company begins to cry with him. The episode ends by panning up to the sky, showing the moon with a strange, unsettling smile, leaving the story on a haunting and ominous note.
The episode begins immediately after the battle between Benimaru and his doppelganger. As the smoke clears, the sky above Tokyo looks wrong. The shape of the moon has changed into an exaggerated, cartoon-like crescent. Captain Hinawa looks up and comments on how strange it feels, noting that this is exactly how people imagine the moon rather than how it should realistically appear. Vulcan explains that this phenomenon is a direct effect of the Great Cataclysm. He states that reality itself is beginning to merge with human imagination. Konro then joins the discussion, and Hinawa asks him about his earlier comment regarding Benimaru's opponent. Konro clarifies that the enemy was not the real Benimaru of the past, but a doppelganger shaped by collective perception. Licht presents his theory. The Great Cataclysm is the complete unification of imagination and reality. However, this raises a crucial question. What role do the white-clad play in all of this? Hinawa answers that Adolla represents humanity's purest collective imagination. If the white-clad are guiding the world toward its final imagined destination, then that destination can only be death. The scene then shifts to Sho Kusakabe and Ero. Sho calmly states that all 7 pillars have now appeared and that the world's end is approaching. Before that happens, he wants to learn the truth about his family. Sho and Ero infiltrate the government registry office in Shinjuku, where family records are stored. Using his Adolla Burst, Sho freezes time completely. Everyone and everything stops moving. He searches the archives and steals his family registry. From the documents, Sho learns that his mother's name is Mari Kusakabe, but the space for his father's name is left completely blank. They then steal hospital medical records related to Mari's pregnancy. Once again, the father's identity is listed as unknown. As Ero carefully reads the medical details, her expression turns pale. The report states that Mari Kusakabe was a virgin at the time she gave birth to both Shinra and Sho. To uncover the truth, Sho and Ero visit a civic research center. There, they meet an elderly researcher who remembers Mari. He confirms that Mari was indeed a virgin, but no one believed her. Even her own parents rejected her. When Mari tried to research the phenomenon herself, both the government and the church pressured her into stopping and burying the truth. Sho falls into deep thought, questioning what truly happened to his family, why Shinra was labeled a devil, and whether his brother became one or was forced to become one. As Sho prepares to leave, he suddenly experiences an Adolla link. The surroundings dissolve, and he finds himself standing inside the Adolla world. In front of him appears a doppelganger, his mother, Mari Kusakabe. Mari shows Sho her memories. 17 years ago, Mari visits a hospital for a medical examination. The doctor asks if she truly does not know who the father is. Mari firmly states that she has never had any relationship with anyone, and medical tests confirm she is telling the truth. Despite this, her family completely disowns her. Mari later gives birth to Shinra. A doctor checks on her condition and confirms that the baby is perfectly healthy. Mari asks the doctor what he thinks about her situation. The doctor admits that there's no logical explanation, but mentions an ancient legend. According to it, before the Great Cataclysm, a virgin woman would give birth to a child who would become the savior of the world. Mari quietly wonders if she is the mother of the world's hero. While holding baby Shinra, Mari is confronted by her own mother, who looks at the child with hatred. She cruelly declares that the baby is unwanted, that he has no father, and that he will ruin Mari's life. Mari breaks down in tears, but hugs Shinra tightly and tells him that he is not unwanted. She calls him a hero and says the world needs him. Later, Sho is born as well. A young Shinra proudly declares that he will become a hero and protect both his mother and his little brother. The memories end, and the scene returns to the present. Sho realizes that the world has already been destroyed once before. The current world is shaped by the imagination of humanity from the past. The image of a savior was projected onto Shinra, while Sho himself was also born from the same virgin birth. Sho questions his own role and then finds his answer. His purpose is to guide and protect his brother. Sho leaves the Adolla world and tells Arrow that he now understands what he must do. He declares that he will bring Shinra back. The episode ends with Company 8 regrouping. Captain Obi states that only one pillar remains. They cannot afford to stand still any longer. No matter what, they will protect the Tokyo Empire.